Hey everybody, Josh the RV Nerd here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan, and I think there might be a new king of solar camping in town. Over the past year and a half, 2 years, whatever it's been, we have seen the greatest explosion in influx, especially in first-time RVers, that we've ever seen before in the history of RVing. And while that's awesome, we love seeing all these new members of our camping community, it has meant campground congestion has become a serious problem. So, as a result, more and more people are looking to the realm of solar options for off-grid boondock camping, let you pick your site and camp your way. The trick is, historically, manufacturer-supplied solar packages have been okay at best, and solar has almost exclusively been something in the realm of aftermarket solutions. And then comes Keystone. But we're specifically looking at Montana today because really, it was when Montana partnered with Future Solutions first last year that laid the groundwork for everything that is now what Keystone calls the SolarFlex system, basically. And it's a 4-tier package. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to briefly outline each of the 4 tiers. I'm going to let you know what is roughly included and what you can expect from them, because I think that's really the most important thing, is what you can do and what you can't do with each of these packages, and which of each of these packages can be found on which of Keystone's products. And what a dreary overcast day. The perfect day to talk about solar, right? And where it all begins is up here with the SolarFlex 200 package. Here's what's really cool about this. This SolarFlex 200 package is now the standard default equipment on every single Keystone travel trailer and fifth wheel. What is also really cool about all of these packages is that by partnering with Future Solutions, who's a totally independent solar upfit supplier, they basically built these with the idea of not just being beholden to one specific supplier. And what I mean by that component independence, if you will, what it allows them to do is, I'm sure that if they got a whole package solar panel and charge controller deal from one supplier, they could probably get it a few bucks cheaper. But then you kind of get shoehorned into some hardware where you might run into a charge controller that's not lithium compliant. By using things like Jaboni panels and then a separate Victron controller, those controllers are lithium compliant. They have overcharge protection so you don't just flood and melt your batteries. And Victron has a free app where you can Bluetooth your phone to this thing, and it tells you all, it's like, here's the amps, the watts, the blah, blah, blah. And that's all great. But the one thing that I love it for is the fact that on that app, there's this one little line that says, at your current power usage, here's how many more hours of power you can expect to get out of this system. And it's that simple, user-friendly function out of this that I love so much. So what can you expect from SolarFlex 200? The idea here is that it is going to be something where if you need to make a travel stop, you need to run slides, you need to run awnings, or you want to make sure that your batteries aren't eaten alive when the RV's in storage. That's where SolarFlex 100 comes in. It is an absolutely outstanding battery tending package, because that's something we don't talk a lot in the RV industry, is the fact that your RV's batteries, for most people, seem to last 2 or 3 years. They should be lasting like 7 to 10 years if they're properly maintained. But a common battery, if it drains below 50%, gets damaged, whether it's a lead acid or an AGM battery, something like that. By keeping that battery charged up, topped off, but not flooded, you are dramatically extending the lifespan of that battery. We don't talk about return on investment in batteries very often, but why would you want to keep spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars replacing batteries when the factory standard solar package on this could go ahead and extend that for you? That's what SolarFlex 200 can give us. Another thing I want to talk about is the expansion potential of these packages. And Mother Nature must really have it out for me. It's supposed to be a beautiful sunny day, it just started raining, and there's lightning flashing in the sky, so we're gonna have to step inside to finish this up. Because nothing says solar like pouring rain, right? So the expansion capability of these is actually one of the things that has me the most excited, because it's the first time I think I've ever seen a manufacturer use their head about this kind of stuff. Did you know that if a manufacturer does something like satellite prep the roof of their RV, if a dealer installs the recommended satellite kit from the manufacturer, the installation is not covered under the manufacturer's warranty, even though an authorized dealer did all of that. That is where Keystone, I think, took this up to yet another level, because as a Keystone dealer, any authorized Keystone dealer We could get the authorized Keystone part. So in the case of SolarFlex 200, we could get an additional one of those Jaboni 200 watt panels. We can install that on there, expand that up to a 400 watt package for you, and have no adverse effects on your warranty. I know it sounds simple, but that's just not how things have worked for a long time, unfortunately. And it's awesome to me to see Keystone making that move and allowing more expansion without fear of loss of warranty. And again, remember, SolarFlex 200 is standard on every single Keystone travel trailer, fifth wheel, every single thing they make comes with this package by default. Now from there, we go up to the SolarFlex 400i. And I love the naming conventions of these because they're just very commonsensical. So the 200 is 200 watts. 400i is 400 watts plus inverter. I've given you a list of all the equipment that's included in this over here, as well as the brands upon which you can upgrade from the 200 to the 400i package. Now, one of the really neat things about this is that the inverter runs to up to 7 household outlets in the RV. Exactly which outlets and exactly how many will vary a little bit by floor plan, but the fact is this gives you some really good off-grid high functionality, where let's say you need room for like the capability of running like a coffee maker in a parking lot, or a CPAP machine for an overnight stay. I think this package is going to probably be one of the biggest bang for the bucks out there because of everything that you can do with it. Because the SolarFlex 400i package, it's not just like a little 1,000 watt inverter, it's a 2,000 watt inverter, and it is capable of running up to 7 different outlets in the RV, which specific outlets will vary by floor plan a little bit. So one model might have 5, one might have up to 7, I don't know, it just depends on the specific camper. They're usually labeled so you can tell which ones are which when you look through the RV. The microwave specifically, I want to mention, is not an inverted outlet. It's just a little too much power draw. And keep in mind, if you go crazy with household appliances on this package, like a coffee maker, blow dryer, stuff like that, you could sap your batteries pretty darn quickly. But with the ability to expand from 400 watts up to 800 with 2 additional 200 watt panels due to the fact that it has 2 of those 30 amp roof plugs, you can create a very robust package on this. I actually think pound for pound, dollar for dollar, the 400i is one of the best value packages available in the entire SolarFlex family. Now where it really gets fun is when we step up into the 600IL package. Now remember, I said the naming conventions are very straightforward, very easy to understand. 600 watts of solar. Inverter, in this case a 3,000 watt inverter, really stepping it up there. That's the same inverter that you previously found on the big Montana Super SolarFlex package. And L, lithium. This is the first instance in which we're seeing Keystone include a factory installed lithium battery. It's a Dragonfly game changer 270 amp hour battery at the time of this filming. I've heard rumor that they are working on that battery to try to get it up to 300 amp hours, so it's possible as this footage ages, it could actually become even better. Once again, over here, I'm leaving you a nice list of all the equipment that's included on this, as well as the brands to which this package can be applied. So what can you do with the 600IL package? A lot. Almost anything you want, like a lot. For instance, you can run the air conditioner on this. You could run just about anything in that RV with that big 3,000 watt inverter. It is capable of doing a little bit of anything you want wherever you want. It's extremely good at replenishing the batteries very quickly. I don't still feel this is a package where like, I just want to park out in the middle of nowhere for a month and I want to run the air the whole time and I want to, run my coffee pot. It's not made for that kind of stuff. It's made for people who want to be able to have a really good extended off-grid package. Maybe on a hot day you got to kick on the air a little bit, or maybe if you're going to do like a over-the-road Cracker Barrel stop, you got a dog kennel in the trailer. You can't bring the dog in the restaurant with you. Well, you could kick on the air conditioner for a couple hours while it's in the parking lot. You could let the dog stay cool and healthy, and then you can head back down on the road. And remember, with the expansion capability of these, it has 2 300 watt panels. You've got 2 30 amp plugs and some CS2 splitters. You could expand this with 2 additional 300 watt panels up to a total of 1,200 watts, like the SuperFlex solar package that you saw last year on Montana's, which, speaking of which, this brings us to the 1200 IL package. This is what was previously known from Montana as Super SolarFlex. And it continues to be available exclusively on what I call the full Monty, the full Montana, meaning not high country. Only the Big Daddy Montanas can have this package. Basically, everything that 600 IL was or could be, all of the expansion capability of the 600 IL is just standard on the 1200 IL Montana package. It's giving us 1200 watts of factory installed panels. We've got the 3000 watt inverter system. It can run anything and everything in that RV from the battery power, and you're gaining a second one of those Dragonfly lithium batteries. Interesting little note for you, like sometimes you hear Battleborn a lot. When it's sold to a customer, it's called Battleborn. When it's sold to like an in-house supplier like Keystone, they use the name Dragonfly. But folks, same battery from the same people. So the big question then, what can you expect from this package? And the answer is being able to do anything you want quite a bit. Now, I'm still not saying that even this big package is capable of doing everything the RV can offer. Like if you've got a residential fridge, you've got double air conditioners screaming in this thing, you will be able to outpace what those panels and those batteries are capable of doing, certainly. But let's say you're in the middle of nowhere and overnight you need to run the furnace, then tomorrow you're expecting sunshine. This panel will let you do that, or this system rather, will let you do that effectively and indefinitely. If it's fairly mild weather, but it starts to get, pretty cooking during the middle of the day and then it settles down in the evening, this system will allow you to run that air conditioner for a while and then be able to replenish the batteries as needed. It is still what I call an extended off-grid package, not a permanent off-grid package. And that's kind of the trick here. A permanent off-grid package, it's really beholden to the elements, to the weather that you get at the time. And I don't know that anyone could ever guarantee you a permanent off-grid package. And that is one of the reasons I still feel that there's a very real place in the RV industry for things like onboard or even portable generators. Now, if you are trying to do that, I want to run everything all the time, every day. I don't care about the weather. Currently, there really is still no better solution than a big heavy-duty onboard generator. Now, the good news is the brands that offer the heavy-duty solar packages tend to be the brands that also have generator upfit capability, if not a factory-installed generator option. Plus, there's always the option, again, of portable generators. Like, let's say you do have something like the 600 IL, 1200 IL package, but you need that extra little assurance that, man, we're going through a week of cloudy days, or like today, the weather turned south on me when it wasn't supposed to because the weatherman gets it wrong. You ever see that happen? Of course, everybody has. Every single time we take a vacation, I swear, right? But, even a small little 2,000, 3,000, something like that would be enough to get me through those darker days, to give me the power to keep myself charged up until the sunshine came back out. So solar is absolutely awesome, but sometimes it is a little bit limited by, like, some people are going to look sometimes at a 20-foot trailer and go, it's stupid this doesn't have 600 watts of solar. There's physically not enough room on the roof to accept things like that. That's part of the reason some of these packages are only available on certain models. Like the big 600 IL package is only available on campers that tend to be much larger because they physically have more square footage of roof coverage to put more panels up there. A small little single axle camper, there's no way you could fit 1200 watts worth up there, which is why every now and then keeping that in the back of your head, knowing what you're going to do with it, knowing what the weather is going to do, knowing what it might throw at you, and just having a small little generator on hand still is not a bad idea, even for a big rig with a big package. Now remember, I created this video as a basic primer for you to understand what is included in each of these packages, what they're kind of designed to do, what they could potentially be capable of doing with some expansion, and I think almost more importantly, what they're not capable of doing. And that's really the trick with solar. It is not a conversation of one size fits all. It's a question of what size fits you. And from a quick video like this or from a quick comment, there's no way I can tell you which one of these packages would be appropriate for you. To really know something like that, we have to get to know you, because two different people can camp so drastically different, even if they're both planning on doing some boondocking. So what I would really ask is, if you've appreciated this video, first and foremost, leave me a couple comments advising some things you learned, or even just saying thank you. Hit the like button on our video, subscribe and follow along to these if you haven't. And If you are considering getting a new RV, you know, like a Cougar or Montana that we carry here at Haylett RV, I'd love it if you gave our team here at Haylett RV a chance to work with you in return for the information that you gained in this video today. And as always, remember, we're family owned and operated. We don't do hidden dealer fees. And when you're ready, we're ready, even if it's not today. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy solar camping, everyone. This always happens. I either nail it or it takes me 10 tries.